Hello, everybody, and
Hello.
welcome. Oh, I probably shouldn't do that. I've got the special background up, but it kind of makes a funky. So welcome to day 3. In the 12 days of Elfmas. This is the 3rd day of Elfmas. So we're very excited, and we have with us our special elf, Danny Guchtknecht. Welcome, Danny.
Hello.
Hello. And we also have joining us just now is Jeffrey Wall. Jeffrey was trying to join us so hard yesterday. It was
I think that was the internet at the library.
The internet at the library just was not working for you, eh?
Hopefully today goes better.
Hopefully today goes better. Yes, that's right. Yes. And of course, my trusty sidekicks, Christine and Kathy, are here, who have been, I've got to say, they've been doing amazing work keeping things organized. Because, you know, we have over 120 elves, 128, I believe, right? That was at the last count. 128.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, 128 elves, over 300 wishes, almost 350, actually, when you add them all together. That's a lot of things to keep organized. And so they've been doing a great job. Christine's been going through the free space page and categorizing the ones that have been solved. Because even though we're on the 3rd day of Elfmas, and this is the 3rd wish that we're revealing to all of you, actually, secretly, we've solved a lot more than that. So Christine, give us the number, give us the update. How many have been solved? Which, of course, I spring on her. So she's looking. You're muted. We can't hear you.
I don't have 2 monitors either. I have 1 screen to look at. I don't have that power either.
Oh no, the power.
I'm up to 31 solves.
31 solves. Wow. And that's getting close to the total number we solved last year, I think.
I don't even remember. I don't remember what we solved last year. But we only had half the wishes. We only had 160 wishes last year.
Oh,
162, wow. I think it was.
Oh, okay.
So we far exceeded the wish list.
Yeah.
And I have 5 that have been officially brick walled. So if anybody wants to look at the free space page, I've moved that progress, all those progress profiles down to the bottom of the page. It's still in the table of contents. But if you find that you've solved a wish or you've completely brick walled up against in a wish, then mark that. You can move it. I'm keeping them in numerical order, but let us know. Let us know on Discord how you're doing, if you need any help. And yeah, you guys are going gangbusters. It's fantastic.
Rocking. It's fantastic. That's great. So yeah. Thank you to everyone. And I didn't actually introduce this again, or introduce the whole topic. This is the 3rd day of Elfmas because we're working on a special challenge where WikiTreeers, genealogists, are solving wishes for other WikiTreeers, other genealogists have run into problems and they just need a little bit of help. So we have lots of generous people who are giving of their time, doing research. And so up until the 12th day of Elfmas, which will be January 6th, where the grand epiphany and revelation of all of the wishes will be revealed at our Saturday morning 10 a.m. livecast, Eastern time. But today, for the third day of Elfmas, we always start off with a little bit of a song. So, on the 3rd day of Elfmas, ein gut Elf gave to me 3 generations. On the last day, we'll sing all 12 verses together. But for these little mini videos, I thought we'll just do one. We'll just do the verse and then we'll just leave it there. So the wish this is Jeffrey's wish. So yesterday, this is actually great because yesterday Jeffrey helped solve the wish that we highlighted. And this day, he gets to see how someone solved his wish. So I'm going to share my screen here. And Jeffrey, why don't you read out to everyone what your wish was? Can you see that? Is that, I think?
Yes. So it was wish number 35. And I am hoping one of Santa's elves can help add profiles for the parents, siblings, and half-siblings of my third great-grandfather, Climenhagen 7. His baptism record found on Archeon was kindly added by another WikiTree earlier in 2023. About 20 years ago, someone from Germany sent me a pedigree going a ways back on this line, but I am not familiar with German records or how to find them on Archeon. I would be grateful for any assistance in extending this branch on WikiTree.
Excellent. And as it turns out, Danny, who's also joining us here, was that kind elf who did solve that. And let me just, I'm going to put you up there. So here is the profile for Frederick Wilhelm Edward Climenhagen. And just so that you can see what I was, here he is. And you can see from the fan chart, what was added was 3 generations going back. Now, even there's more than that as well added, but there's the 3 generations. That's why we called it. That's why this qualifies for the 3rd day of Elfmas. But I'm going to go back to his profile. And Danny, take us through what you did, and I'll drive the ship if you just tell me what you want to highlight, where you want me to click, and
yeah. So let's start with what was there already. I made some notes so that I'm not confused with all the other wishes. So obviously there was also the birth already the birth record provided from some other member of the German project, I think, earlier this year. So actually it was not very hard for me, but of course I tend to always double check what was found, because if you have an immigrant to the US, it is very hard to really prove that it's the right guy that you find back here in Germany. And what played in our hands here is that the name is very rare, even for a German. And this made things very easy.
Which part was it? The Climenhagen is
the Climenhagen name, yeah.
Okay.
Then you can imagine if you have someone called John Smith or so.
Right.
Then you need very specific hints that you can follow. So what we here had to prove this is, I think there was the Find a Grave page, which had at least a year of birth. And then there was some census records that also gave this birth year. And what was really important is the naturalization record that you have there in the middle somewhere.
Yeah.
It's only the index, but it had, I think, the whole birthday.
Yes, January 17th.
And then you have something very specific, but it didn't give any place. So we still stick with Germany till here. What I then did is to look for any passenger lists.
Okay.
Because this is a very rare name, and if you are lucky and they did not get butchered by the clerk that wrote it down, then you can actually find it. And so if you go to Ancestry, for instance, or some other platform that has the passenger lists, then you can search for it and you will find this guy with his family, which is also a strong hint that we can follow. And you see in the middle of it, kind of, I hope.
Yes.
Let's see if you find it.
So there's, looks like him. He's at the
that's the first one, actually.
First one.
Climenhagen Wilhelm and his wife, Caroline or Caroline, we in German.
Yeah.
And the kids.
Right.
And it's very, very, very strong hint that is the right family, because you will not have two families with this rare name and the same combination of parents and children.
Mm-hmm.
And the important thing here is let's see, it's in the middle, kind of, under bisheriger Wohnort. There is some scribbling that says they came from Herrenbreitungen. I'm not sure. There is this.
What was the heading that you were
The
calling?
heading is bisheriger Wohnort. Yeah, this is the.
Oh, here it is. I see it.
Yeah, and you go down, and there is this. How do you call it? Bracket around all the names, and then there's this scribbling.
Scribbling, yes. It looks like scribbling.
But it says Herrenbreitungen. It's not easy to read.
So that's an H. That's a fancy H at the front.
That's a fancy German H, yes.
Wow.
We can do some more of this scribe things tomorrow, maybe.
Okay.
Because obviously we will have another session.
Yes. Okay.
So, of course, if you are German and you know the country, then you will probably recognize it. But if you are not, then you will not be able to make something out of it.
Wow. Jeffrey, have you ever heard of Herrenbreitungen?
Only from what my 20-year-old pedigree had. I have no idea where it is.
If you cannot read it and you have such a rare name, then you can use a fancy page. I will send you the link on Discord, I think.
Okay.
Then you can open it.
Okay, I will.
Because this is a really nice tool.
Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to copy that. And I will put it in the chat for people who are interested. And I will open it up here.
It works, yeah.
Right.
So this is a kind of a database where some names are in, and you can have a name distribution map.
Is that the right spelling? Kleimenhagen. Not quite the same.
Looks right. And then you go around this, and then you will see that there is not much.
There's a few dots there?
Yeah, these few dots. And you see a nice cluster in the middle. You can go more deeper inside. There are some points here and there, and then there's this nice cluster. And if you are looking for your rare named family members, you might start there.
Wow.
And actually it fits. There is a place called Herrenbreitungen right in this spot. Okay. So I think this is proof that this is the right guy. Now we can look.
Wow. That's a lot of work just to get to the point where you think, okay, this is the right guy.
Yeah, but it's better to do this and be sure. Not that you put a lot of work and then you have a total stranger branch that you worked on.
Right. Okay, very cool. So then once you've got, the right
then you have to, of course, find the records. And this is also a really hard thing to do, for German has a very, very difficult history with in regards of territories and shifting borders and so on. And just to give you a clue about this, I will share another.
Okay.
Where do I have it? As you can see, this cluster here in the map is where nowadays Thuringia is situated. But if you know the history of Germany, then you will realize that Thuringia was only established after the Second World War.
Oh.
Very late in the history. And before that, we had a lot of territory splitting and shifting.
Mhm.
And this cluster actually lied in Hessia,
Okay.
and not in Thuringia at the time we are looking for. And this Hessen territory looked a little bit like that. You can have a look here. If you look for territories and cities in Germany, you should also go to the German Wikipedia page because there is a lot more detail on it. You can just translate it with the browser translator.
Yeah. So what do I do?
Oh, here we are. And you have this map on the right side.
Yeah.
If you click on it, it will become large.
There we go.
And then you see every color is a different territory. This is just a little part around the cluster. It's not the whole
Wow.
country.
That's very
And
cool.
the difficult thing is that the same colors are also the same states. So you see, you have this big brownish, light brownish territory, which is Hessen Castle at that time.
Mhm.
But it consisted also on all the small brownish blobs that you have in the other
Oh my.
parts. And you see on the right side of the map, there is this green
Yes.
territory with SM for Sachsen-Meiningen. And in the middle of Sachsen-Meiningen, there was a little exclave or enclave, depending on how you look at it.
Mhm.
There's the so-called Schmalkalden enclave. It belonged to Hessia, but it lied in the middle of Sachsen-Meiningen. And this is where your ancestors come from, actually. So you have not to look in Thuringia for the records, but in Hessen.
So
Nowadays,
they're part of this little wee Schmalkalden?
Yeah, they are just north of Schmalkalden.
Wow.
And they are belong to Hessia, but lie or were surrounded by Sachsen-Meiningen. Just to get a feeling for what we have to deal with here. So, and if you know that, then you can go to Archeon actually, and I sent you the link for direct.
Okay, so here is I clicked the link from the birth record.
Yeah, we can have a look at this in a minute. I just want to show you the whole page for this Herrenbreitungen.
Okay. Okay, so
okay, there it comes.
There we go. So I'm putting the links in the comments as well, so people can play along at home if they want.
Yeah, it's always fun to.
It's always fun. Yeah, that's right.
Look at these territories.
Look at this.
So, and there have you the page for Herrenbreitung. You see it's in the archives of Hessen. That's on beneath the name of the location. On the right side.
On the right side.
And then
there we are. Here we are. Yeah, Hessen.
Yeah, this is the route that you would have to go for to reach the Herrenbreitungen. Belongs to Schmalkalden and in the territory of Hessen, even if it's in the middle of Thuringia now.
Okay.
And the church actually kept also this whole territory structure till now. So the church books especially will not be in Thuringia now. And this is a list of all the church books that survive till today.
Okay.
And then you can just, if you search for, let's say, a baptism, which would be Taufe in German, the last ones.
Oh, okay.
And then you have the time frame that the books go from, and then I would just open it and search for it and then you come to this page that you already had opened.
63. So we would look in the we look in the second one here. Yeah. And then we would have to
And then
search.
you have to
Yeah.
open it and scroll through the pages.
Okay. And I'm going to take a shortcut and go straight to the one where the image that you.
Exactly. We can have to have people look into it.
So that's right. And there's
So
63
this is
right
also,
there.
you will not be able to read anything. So this is very hard if you are not experienced in the script.
Yes.
Because you might be familiar with the German script is actually another one. We have now also the Latin alphabet, but we had the German alphabet before, which is a different thing. And you need a little bit of experience to be able to read it. And then it's also handwritten. So this is a very nice handwriting here.
That's nice, Andrew. Well, yeah.
We will see tomorrow some very, very bad ones.
Some ugly handwriting tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, but this is the basics. This is where I go through. It was quite easy if you have the right place and the right time frame, and the family did not move a lot. Then it's just looking for it and decipher it and then translate it and put it on the profile.
So which one of these records is actually the one?
The second one right beneath the year.
Oh, right. Okay, there we go. And so it will have, it'll obviously have his baptismal date. It'll have his parents, right?
It has the parents, yeah. In the first column, it's the place, actually with the house number.
With the house number even.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And then the second will be the birthday in written. So you also will not recognize it if you search for a number or so. It's just out written there. And the third is the baptism day. Then comes the name of the child. And that it is a boy.
Right.
And very fancy is below the name, you see the number of child it is for the father, and in what marriage. So this is it's just saying, I think I cannot really read it from here, but I think it says it's the seventh child and the first of the second marriage.
Wow.
So
that's very specific. That's very specific.
And then it's the second boy and the first from the second marriage. So this is very specific. And this is, I think, also where the wish came from, that he wanted to have all the siblings and half siblings. Because it was already known that there are a lot of them. And then came the name of the parents, sometimes also with the occupation of the father. And it's also stating that it's the second marriage and that the mother is Anna Elisabeth.
I can see the Anna there, and I can see there's the Elizabeth.
Yeah, and then come the knee, kind of.
Yeah.
And Königshof for the second, for the name. And then this little thing is actually very important. I will say something to this later. Actually, I did not find, sadly, the marriage for this couple. But I found all the other kids from this father and the first wife and put them all in. So the family is complete, but I just don't know where the second wife came from. But this is something we probably can solve because of this little word in the end.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and then it just says something about the godparents.
Okay.
This was a very important one. I think he was prison ward and worked on the court actually. So the family seems to have some reputation in this village.
Right. Oh, well, that's good. Now, would it be typical that the marriage would take place in the village of the bride?
Yes, in Germany, this is the usual thing. So if you don't find the marriage in the same book or in the same village, then you have to assume that the bride came from another village. And that it's just not recorded here, but in the other village where they live.
And in 1863, did people travel far, or were they pretty local?
No, normally not. if you are not a merchant or so that you travel anyways long ways, then of course you will have your wives from anywhere in the world. But if you just he was farmer, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Just a normal farmer, you would stay at least in the Serenity, and also not often marry outside the territory you belong to.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially if it's already an enclave inside something else. Would be.
Yeah, this makes it more likely that you will marry outside the territory, because this village actually is surrounded by villages that already belong to the other state.
Mm.
And the state borders were not so protected or closed that you could not go there. And if you have another farmer right across the border, then you probably also have a marriage with the daughter of there.
Right.
And this is quite likely for this, because it says where the parents are mentioned that the father is of Reformed confession and the mother is of Lutheran confession. Okay. And it was so that Hesse was Reformed at that time. It's both not Catholic, so it's quite similar, right. But it's there are nuances just between them. Both are evangelical confessions.
Right.
And Saxony and the territory that it was surrounding this exclave, they were Lutheran, actually. So the wife came actually most likely from
one of them.
From Saxon mining, and we can see this later also. Okay. So this is one sample, and I went backwards in time searching for all the children and put them here. And also put all the baptism records for all the children. You have to go just to the children. And
so before we just look at how beautiful this profile is, like with the biography there. I love how you've extracted all the information and put it into a nice little paragraph there. The obituary, and then all the sources. This is really nicely done, Danny. This is very nice. And then you went back to Johann, so his father, and you found his marriage, both his marriages, or both his wives. You don't have her.
Both his wife. You can open the second wife if you want, and you will see that there is nothing actually about her. I wrote some ideas that I have regarding to the Lutheran confession, and that she's probably from the surrounding territories.
Right.
Yeah. But the ancestors of the father, they are nice and easy trackable, because they stayed in the same village for a long time.
That was very kind of them to do that.
Makes things easier. And the oldest one, this Hieronymus that you have right here.
Hieronymus. That's an interesting name. I haven't seen that name very often.
It's actually quite typical for that time.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a German name.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see this is also an interesting guy. Actually, he was a soldier, I think, if I remember correctly. And he was in the 1st Battalion of the Hessen Guard.
There he is.
Which is very famous by itself, the Hessen Guard, actually. Mm-hmm. You might also know it in the 1700s.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of Hessen soldiers coming to the United States, or to America, what will become the United States later, because the sovereign of Hessia sold his soldiers to the English to fight in the independent wars and so. So you will have a lot of Hessian soldiers probably in the ancestry of the people from the United States. This is one that actually stayed in Germany.
Right. So this one stayed, but a lot went. So Jeffrey, you probably have lots of cousins over there you don't even know.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Probably, yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
actually, he became also a mayor of Herrenbreitungen later. So
There he was. He was the mayor.
Yeah.
Look at that. Very impressive. Wow, this is great. This is great work, Danny. And
Yeah.
what do
And
you
this is
think,
also
Jeff?
where
Yeah,
you
it's
can
amazing.
go a little bit further back.
Mhm.
Even because the first book, if I remember correctly, it starts at 1640 something. So this is the time that you also can go to 100 years more. We have to do, but it will take a while because the scribbling will become more worse the further
Yeah,
you
harder
go
and
back.
harder to read.
Uh-huh. Well, I've got good news about that, Jeffrey, because Danny's going to come back because he's also the elf who granted the wish for day 4. And what we're going to look at tomorrow is how to translate the scribbling into, figuring out what the letters are and then transcribe and translating that. So stay tuned for a little mini lesson on deciphering.
Well, I'm pretty good at early English wills and Norwegian Danish writing in the 1700s, so German can't be that much different. I just don't speak German, so
Yeah,
We will see tomorrow.
we'll see tomorrow.
I look forward to
Yeah.
it.
Oh, well, this is great. Thank you very much, Danny, for this, and thanks, Jeffrey, for coming on and joining us, and to my fellow elves. So tomorrow we will be doing same time, same bat channel. It'll be a 3 p.m. Eastern time or 8 p.m. UTC for the 4th day of Elfmas, and thank you for everyone who's joining us, who live and in the chat, as well as those who are watching this after the fact. And have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow for the 4th day of Elfmas. Once I find my outro. Bye. See you tomorrow.
Bye.